Before sunrise, this crew prepares for giant porcupine fish, spiny, stubborn, and unpredictable when they feel threatened. They plan this run the old way: paper, weather, and timing, because these fish hold tight to structure and current.
Circle hooks are set to find the corner of the jaw, secure control, less damage, and fewer surprises at the rail.
Down here, the line waits in silence, exactly the kind of place a porcupine fish can appear without warning.
A porcupine fish doesn't need speed. Its defense is spines and inflation, not a chase.
A buoy marks the set. Everything else stayed hidden below the chop.
With spines involved, landing is treated like hazard control. Tools first, hands last.
A small change in current can mean a fish is near without showing itself yet.
For porcupine fish, it's patience, measured by hand, not electronics. Everything is set. Now the bottom has to answer. It is, slow, deliberate, and armed with spines before it ever commits.
It can test the situation without striking. Risk is measured, not rushed.
The buoy speaks in tiny pulses. Something down there is close, but not committed.
2 fish in view, and still the bait hangs. This is a slow negotiation, not a chase.
They stage control now, because once spines come aboard, mistakes get expensive fast.
It approaches, hesitates, and fade back into the blue, still in control.
The window tightens. Now it's wait for the moment one finally takes. That pull is different. Real load, real contact, and the reveal is next.
Clean corner jaw hookup, and now the leader runs tight and the fight starts slow and heavy.
Hauling begins, and containment becomes the plan. Spines can't be allowed to surprise anyone.
A full breach, spines up, line tight, and the crew never gives slack.
They tune pressure by feel, steady load, clean leader path, and hands kept away from danger.
It uses the bottom for leverage, but the circle hook holds exactly where it should.
Short bursts at the surface, energy spent against steady pressure.
A jam under tension is cleared in seconds, because hesitation breaks gear and people.
That's a full launch, pure resistance, and the line stays locked in control.
Even when it turns, the hook stays pinned at the jaw corner without tearing.
They land it like hazardous cargo, distance, tools, and a clear plan.
One more surge at the rail, then the crew guides it into containment. Containment wins, spines up, fish inflated, and the lid closes before anyone gets too close. A clean rotation frees the hook from the jaw corner. Control maintained the whole time. Straps and ice stabilize the load. Secure, cold, and controlled. Every move is logged by hand. Time, tide, and how the gear behaved under load.
They reset fast because the next strike can come without warning.
Fresh bait hangs again, and the camera waits through long, empty seconds.
Another full breach, this time in heavier seas, where every mistake multiplies. A sudden load hits the system, and the crew reacts like one machine.
The hook is right where it belongs, jaw corner, and the fish tries to turn itself into a spiny shield.
They protect the leader path, because one crossover can end the fight instantly. Quick flash at the surface, then it tries to sink back into the chaos below.
That's the danger zone. Spines, waves, and steel, so they keep distance and keep control.
Bad weather doesn't stop the job. It just raises the cost of getting sloppy.
They guide it like a live hazard. Head aligned, pressure steady, hands kept back.
The lid closes fast, turning chaos into control in one motion.
They strip the hook cleanly and reset the deck for the next pull.
A few degrees on paper keeps them over the kind of bottom these fish use like cover.
As light fades, the bottom turns quiet again, and that silence can break instantly.
When tension spikes, the rules are simple. Control the line and stay out of its path.
A heavier fish hits, and the leader snaps tight as the hook locks into the jaw corner.
Near the buoy, it surges again, spray and rope filling the frame. Speed comes up, but control stays the priority.
Inflation turns it into a spiny ball of resistance, harder to control, harder to handle.
They fix chafe before it becomes failure. One clean reroute saves the leader. A fully inflated breach, pure chaos for a second, then the system pulls it back under control.
A third landing ends the hardest pull, contained, controlled, and injury-free.
Straps and ice lock the load down for the ride to port. With the hull closed, the job turns from capture to delivery.
Washdown restores order, because the next trip starts with a clean deck. The noise fades, but the work keeps moving toward shore.
Loose loads ruin trips, so they check every strap twice.
The approach is planned on paper, keeping the run quiet and controlled.
Gear is locked down, leaving nothing loose for arrival. The ocean's last word is a slam of spray. Then the story shifts to shoreside precision. On shore, the catch becomes logistics first, moved fast and kept controlled. With spines involved, safety checks happen before anything else moves forward. Forklifts pull the load inside, keeping warm time as short as possible. Staging is cold and quiet, built to keep temperature stable between steps. Reefer loading turns the catch into a controlled cold chain shipment. The truck rolls out, and the cold chain becomes the new battlefield.
The wash line runs nonstop, removing salt and grit before any handling step.
This line starts with safety. Spines managed under strict control so the rest of the workflow can run.
First stations are fast and clean, every motion built around sanitation and control.
Spines are handled methodically, kept off the floor and out of the line's path. Filleting is precision work, clean cuts, consistent handling, and no wasted motion. Trim refines the product, uniform, clean, and ready for portioning.
Uniform portions make every next step predictable. Pack, freeze, and ship. Quality control stays hands-on. Consistency, cleanliness, and tight standards. Vacuum sealing protects the product and locks the line into a clean rhythm. Cartons close fast-turning portions into uniform units for cold storage. The floor runs like a system, each station feeding the next without pause. Between runs, sanitation resets the plant because contamination ruins everything. Sharp blades mean cleaner cuts, faster work, and safer hands. Sorting keeps flow balanced, so packaging never has to stop. Final seal checks protect quality long after the knives are done. Wrap and corners lock the load down, keeping cold storage organized and safe. In chilled holding, airflow and order keep every pallet consistent. Byproducts move on a separate path, keeping the main line clean and controlled. Training stays hands-on because safety is learned through repetition. Cartons move straight into cold storage, keeping the chain unbroken. Cross-docking keeps product moving with almost zero warm time. The shift ends the same way it began, clean, controlled, and ready for tomorrow. Order in the cold room is the last step of quality control. Blast freezing drops temperature fast, locking the cold chain in place. In frozen storage, airflow and spacing keep every pallet stable. Reefer loading is fast because minutes outside cold add up.
Pallet 52, giant porcupine fish. Ensure temperature is maintained.
Roger that. Clear the bay.
In the kitchen, precision continues. Clean portions, clean tools, and a controlled process from start to finish.
Simple seasoning keeps the focus on technique, heat control, and timing.
A hard sear builds texture on the outside while the center stays controlled.
Basting finishes the surface, then resting evens heat through the portion.
A simple plate puts the emphasis on the work, clean handling, consistent results.
The fork tells the story, controlled cook, clean finish, and careful handling all the way through.
One bite confirms it, the payoff of disciplined capture, disciplined processing, and disciplined cooking.
Kitchen resets, clean surfaces, clean workflow, and the story comes full circle.
Back aboard, the deck goes quiet, but the next run is already taking shape. Paper and time replace noise, setting up the next corridor and the next pull. Hooks go back on the rack because the ocean never stays quiet for long. Rest comes in short bursts, earned between hard pulls and long nights. The ship pushes back into open water toward whatever answers next. The log closes, the light drops, and the next voyage is already waiting.